Knowledge comes, but wisdom lingers, wrote Alfred Tennyson. And this week on Talking Tai Chi with the Teapot Monk, we take a controversial look into Tennyson's toolbox, where we peek at the nature of knowledge and wisdom in Tai Chi, and ask, if the only true wisdom is in knowing you know nothing, what does this tell us about those that claim they possess the inner knowledge, the secret transmissions, those that say they possess the family jewels? In other words, it's time to ask the controversial question of the week. What makes you think your Sifu's got it right? Is Sifu the sage you think he or she is? No, I'm not talking about the culinary additive, nor alluding to the colour of that satin suit, the smartly ironed crease down the trouser leg, or the obligatory yin-yang circle tattooed on the pyjama pocket. No, I'm talking something that the Tao Te Ching spoke of, perhaps the greatest litmus test for whether Sifu really has something worthwhile to offer. And that's the presence or absence of humility. Browsing my trusty old RSS feeds and bookmarked Tai Chi pages on my laptop this week, I decided to tally up all those sites I came across that promoted their schools or methods using the following language: real, authentic, true, traditional, original, faithful, unique, secret. Hallelujah. And I was surprised to find that most contained, expressed, implied, or outrightly salivated over the excessive use of such phrases. Perhaps, I considered, it was just an SEO trick to fool Google keyword search bots. But it smacked of something more sinister. It smacked of the absence of humility and of belief in the certainty of knowledge. The problem I see with such claims is that they are almost always made at the expense of others, dismissing the rest of the community as no more than a collection of, let's say, bean curd boxers. Of course, were they to have read the manual of bean curd boxing, they would have known that instead of an insult, this is in fact the ultimate accolade. For we revel in ignorance and publicly bathe in uncertainty. But the widespread use of these extravagant claims runs counter to the Taoist texts on humility by exuding such complete and utter certainty. Such claims leave no room for variety, diversity, or interpretation, the building blocks for innovation and progress. Nope, for these schools of certainty there is just one narrow roadmap for Tai Chi, exclusive to their school, their method, their teacher, their DVD. The greatest enemy of knowledge is not ignorance, said Stephen Hawking. It is the illusion of knowledge. Quantum physics tells us we are, all of us, historians and social commentators. We are all participants now. No longer can we hide behind the label of the objective observer. History has never been so uncertain, never been so objectively inaccurate. Facts given today are the subjective opinions of tomorrow. Now, such broad claims concerning truth and objectivity would be simply hilarious were they written by someone under the age of 7. But this is not the case, and it is a sad conclusion to arrive at, for Tai Chi is a diverse and broad school, and it is precisely because of its diversity and broad nature that it has survived the centuries and enjoys the popular health it does today. Those that attempt to confine it by defining it according to their personal vision, their personal agenda, do so at a price. Ooh. That price, apart from obtaining a reputation for silliness, of course, is the alienation, the segregation, the fragmentation of the movement as styles, schools or teachers compete for ownership of these terms, compete for authenticity, or become dismissed simply because they offer an alternative perspective, alternative goals, or because they refuse to engage in the childish competition for the most awesome of adjectives. Such infighting on forums and social media sites are a sad reflection on the clear absence of humility, the absence of a broad agenda, the absence of any awareness that we share more than we admit to. But then, if you look deeper, underneath these furious frowns, I often find almost hidden amongst the shuriken spinning superlatives a gentler current of thought. Even amongst the die-hard martial adversaries, there is a desire still to reach out and connect, to find the shared values and to build bridges rather than dig trenches. Yet for this to materialize, for real connections to happen, the first place to look is not at another posture, nor at another's uniform or lineage chart, family trees, or, and this may be a difficult one for some of you, where the apostrophe appears in the spelling of Tai Chi. I know. You believe such things are more important than global warming or the global economic recession, but many people don't. Forget punctuation and try looking instead at language, for that is what can reach out and touch and hold, or reach out and push away. I've said it before in the manual of bean curd boxing. I've reiterated again and again in ways of learning. If you want to connect, if you want to reach out, if you want to shake hands, you must first unclench your fist. Start with words, and yes, some words do carry apostrophes and accents. Words may be subjective. They may be interpreted differently according to your agenda, your culture, but it is nevertheless where we should all start. And if all of this is just too many words and not enough action for you, then just throw it all away, because throwing stuff away is a good thing. It leaves room for something else. Reputedly, when Confucius asked Lao Tzu about the performing of rites and rituals, Lao Tzu replied, "The bones of the people you are talking about have long since turned to dust. Only their words linger on." Going beyond lingering words is a lesson we ignore at our own peril. Going beyond lingering words will bring us to a point of silence. And the quieter we become, the more we can hear. And the more we are capable of hearing, the more we can listen to the opinions of others. Our breath find balance, release the softness in our glare, and to find the courage to let go of certainty. I'm going to leave you today with a quote from Robert Jordan, and one that brings us back to where we began. The difficult search for humility amongst the headlines and straplines of the internet Sifus. You can never know everything. Part of what you know is always wrong. Perhaps the most important part. A portion of wisdom lies in knowing that. Looking to discover what Tai Chi can do for you, or curious and would like to know a little more? Well, just come over to 21stcenturytaichi.com. Look for the link in the show notes. There's short introductory courses, breathing, health, Tai Chi form, sword, philosophy applications and more, plus books, PDFs and great videos and even music. Got a question? Track me down on social media as the Teapot Monk. Thanks for listening.